everyone. My name is RYLA from Milpitas High School, and I'm from the Fiesta family. I'd like to tell you a riddle. When I say it, try to think of the answer in your head. So, we hurt without moving. We poison without touching. We beat the truth and lies. We are not to be judged by our size. What are we? Words. Words are powerful, no matter how big or small. Personally, I've had challenges with words, and I'd like to share with you my story with another story about the first time I made lemonade. One Saturday morning in the 5th grade, I came up with the idea of making lemonade out of lemons from my backyard lemon tree. Still in my pajamas, wearing my mom's sandals, I opened the backyard screen door and walked to the tree. Our lemons weren't that big, but they were really plump and ripe. So I plucked them one by one until my plastic bag was filled to the top. Excited and ready to prepare lemonade, I ran to the kitchen and began juicing them by hand. I couldn't get that much out of the lemons, so I ended up needing to squeeze 15 of them just to fill half the glass. And that took about half an hour. After continuous squeezing, I finally had enough to fill half the glass, and at that moment, I had never felt so much success. I added water to the glass to make it appear fuller, and ta-da, I was done. So there I was, jumping and excited that I made my first ever glass of lemonade.
Yeah!
Passionately, I gulped down the mouthful of lemon juice, but you can probably tell what happened next. I ended up spitting it out because it was incredibly sour and tasted horrible. My face contorted as I tried washing off the sour taste in my mouth. Then I thought to myself, I'm confused. Isn't this how you make lemonade? But guess what? You need sugar. You knew, right? At the time, this was one of the greatest discoveries in my life. So I added sugar, which made it taste amazing, and I finally had the perfect lemonade. Now it's time for another question for you guys. Would you believe it if I told you I have a speech disorder? If it doesn't appear that way, then I must have done a good job hiding it. But it's true. I stutter. Not as bad as I used to, but it still comes from time to time. And by stuttering, I mean to the point where I'm not able to say complete sentences. My mouth would freeze, my mind would stop, and my words would constantly be repeating themselves. In addition to stuttering, I also had a lisp. In elementary school, people would laugh at me because I spoke so strange. It made not being able to speak properly really affected me, and was the reason I grew up shy, insecure, and afraid to be a leader. It made me feel trapped. It made me hate myself. And it made me think I didn't have anything worth to say because I couldn't say it. I've lost track of how many times I was laughed at because of the way I spoke. The thing I dreaded most was when I was called to read out loud in front of class. I would get so embarrassed and ashamed that right after I read, I would hide my head under my arms and cry. But after many years of taking speech therapy and practicing in front of the mirror by myself, I've learned to manage with it. My stuttering will always be a part of me and will never go away. I've just learned how to hide it better. Words are powerful. They beat the truth and lies. They are not to be judged by their size. I told you this lemonade story today to prove all those people who laughed at me wrong. From not being able to read out loud in class here I am telling this story in front of all of you. Like the phrase goes, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. In this case, I made lemonade, and I failed. However, I never gave up. Once I found the sugar, I was able to make something magical. I always looked up to people who made talking look so easy. That is the person I want to be. To be the confident public speaker that's able to talk in front of hundreds of people. And now, I'm proud to say that I just spoke in front of over 200 plus amazing RYLA campers about how I failed at making lemonade. Throughout my whole life, I've struggled with speaking. However, it's the problem I am most proud of fighting against. What I learned from dealing with this obstacle is that, despite how hard it seems, with resilience, support, and letting yourself be a little afraid in order to take risks, you will overcome it. Doing this is honestly the scariest thing I've ever done. But I'm so glad I made it this far. So, if you're someone who's like me with similar struggles, don't hold yourself back like I did. Your words are important and deserve to be heard. Your words have meaning. Your words are powerful. You already have the lemons. Now, all you need is the sugar. Thank you. I would just like to say that when writing this, I wrote it from thinking about how I used to feel when I was younger, and I never saw myself as a leader because of the way I spoke. I just thought that I could never accomplish something like this, and I never also expected me to share my story in front of so many people. But I just want to say thank you to you campers and the counselors for being so supportive and open, and just being there for supporting me. So thank you all. I love you.